Have you ever sat here and wondered what would happen if the MLB removed trades altogether? Well, today's video we are going to find out. What is up, guys? It's TheGreatWall. We're back at it again with another video. Today, like I said, we're going to be disabling trades, and if you guys don't know how you do that is you go over to sliders and you can just turn the trade frequency all the way down. And what we are going to see is how the MLB deals with it, because a lot of transactions come from trades, trading prospects, trading for stars, stuff like that. But what happens if all of that goes away? That is what we are here to find out in this video. If you guys like this concept, you guys like the idea, let me know down in the comments below. Leave a like and subscribe. It means a lot to me and my editor. But yeah, I figured we would do this seeing as the trade deadline is coming up next week, so why not? So without further ado, we are the Dodgers. We're going to start simming. We're not going to stop too much. We'll stop at the All-Star break. We'll stop at the end of the year because I just want to see what teams become good. Do the Dodgers stay really good because of free agency? Do the poverty teams kind of stay poverty because they can't make those trades? What will happen? That's what we're here to find out. All right, we're at the Home Run Derby. How does everything look? So obviously the first couple years will still all probably be very similar to the exact same. The Dodgers are nuts, 67 and 30. Yeah, you kind of see the same usual guys in the All-Star game. No one too crazy. Wow, Riley O'Brien is a beast. But yeah, you kind of see the same guys. We aren't going to see too many crazy changes in the first year. It's going to be more towards year 2, year 3. Probably really crazy once we get towards the end. Because think about it, a lot of the problems in this game are how bad the sim engine is. Because the sim engine or the trade engine is horrible. So it will be interesting to see what happens when there are not the stupid trades that they make. So yeah, let's also just double check, make sure that there have been no trades. Yeah, see, not a single trade has happened. So yeah, let's finish out the year and see how these teams do. We are at the playoffs. The Dodgers finished with 103 wins. How did the rest of the league look? Alright, so pretty similar to what we would be expecting in real life. Padres aren't very good. That's something that I didn't really expect. The Central, the Cubs are the best. The Brewers are still really good. Pirates, Cardinals, Reds, all kind of mid, kind of around where they are in real life. The Marlins, okay, so the Marlins end up winning the East. Braves in second, Phillies third, Nationals didn't do well, Mets didn't do well either. But I think the biggest surprise right now is the Marlins winning the East. The West, the Athletics. Wow, okay, so I take it back. This is the biggest surprise. 395 teams out in the AL West, which is crazy. Tigers barely sneak by with 86 wins. That's kind of expected. The Yankees top the AL with 102 wins. Rays with 87, so this makes more sense. But yeah, I mean, Athletics and Rangers both finishing with 95 wins is crazy. Marlins leading the NL East is also crazy. Let's see. Let's take a look at some of these award winners. Okay, don't care too much. MVP goes to Ohtani and Judge. Cy Young, Fried, and Yamamoto. So both teams, or the MVP and Cy Youngs of both teams, or both leagues, are on the same team. Batting title 328, 332, nothing too crazy. Yeah, and it's funny, Yankees and Dodgers both with the reliever of the year, and then rookie of the year goes to the Marlins with Casey and Okamoto. In the AL with the Blue Jays, Hank Aaron goes to Mike Trout and Ohtani. Yeah, we don't want to look at the Gold Gloves or anything. It doesn't matter too much. Let's take a look at who wins the World Series, though. So the Dodgers are going to get knocked out by the Braves. Very interesting to see here. Where are the Braves? Are down here. Yep. All right, they're taking on the Cubs, who they are going to choke against. Okay, the Cubs versus the Yankees in the World Series. And the Yankees are going to sweep them. That is crazy. Let's take a look at these awards. Austin Wells, out of all people, wins World Series MVP. Nico Horner with NLCS MVP. And Giancarlo Stanton with ALCS MVP. All right. Interesting. Let's see where some of these big-name free agents sign. Every offseason, we'll take a look at where the #1 free agent goes. And it is going to be Tarek Skubal, which we could kind of assume. He goes to the Blue Jays. He goes to the Blue Jays in almost every single one of these, which is crazy. He's going to sign for $51 million a year. All right, let's take a look. I don't know if there's a way to sort. We'll figure out a way to see all of the top free agents at the end of this. All right, we're at the Home Run Derby. Is there anyone different in here? We see a lot of the players on the same team. Marcelo Zuna's on the Twins. yeah, I mean, pretty much everyone's with the same team, which is kind of funny to see. What about the All-Star game? Is there anyone that looks like out of the ordinary? Um, no, I mean, everyone's still on pretty much the same team that they were with. Is there anybody? Can I just... No, I can't. Alright, that's fine. Anyone new that we're kind of looking at here? Keeper Ruiz, good for him. Tim Tawa. Anyone that's on a new team. Like, it's kind of... I mean, obviously... With no trades, we're going to see a lot of players that stay on the same team for a long time. But it's interesting to see that no one left their team in this. Right? Like, in the NL, everyone's on the same team that they were in, or on last year. Except for maybe Ian Hamilton. Was he... Okay, so Ian Hamilton maybe not. Oh, Shane Bieber as well. Yeah, interesting to see. Obviously, Scoobs is doing very well. Anyone that we're not used to seeing here on a different team? Maybe Brandon Lowe's in Texas. Yeah, obviously as we get further along, we'll see more players from different teams. Braden Montgomery's here, good for him. But yeah, let's sim to the end of the year and see what teams are doing well. All right, year's over. Dodgers won 93 games. How did the rest of the league do? So Padres have a bounce back year. Diamondbacks took a step back. Cubs, Brewers, so very mid-year. Then obviously the Reds, Pirates, and Cardinals. Phillies, Marlins took a step back, but they still sneak into the playoffs. Mets bounce back, which is good for them. All right, Mariners. Yeah, so honestly, who won? Like, it looks like everyone was winning some decent games. Tigers with 94 wins. Twins, Royals both make it. The Rays take the AL East. The World Series winners from last year don't even get a shot at defending their title as they finish 83 and 79, miss the playoffs. Blue Jays here with Scoobs. Yeah, so let's go ahead. Let us see the awards as well. So in the NL, Dansby Swanson wins an MVP. Logan Webb wins a Cy Young. Acuna with the batting title. Morhone, okay, so someone on a different team. He wins it. Lionel Block, okay, generational talent in San Francisco. What about this guy? This guy too? No. Hank Aaron goes to Acuna. All right, what about the American League? Brandon Lau, or Lowe, whatever it is with the Hank Aaron. Bernard Banks. Okay, so not a generational talent. Good, but not a generational talent. Then Spencer Jones. Tyler Rogers, reliever of the year. Even though Brian Abreu had 57 saves, good for him. On a team that didn't even make the playoffs. Lowe with the batting title. Scoobs with a 16-6 Cy Young campaign. And Marcell Ozuna wins an MVP. Wow. Marcell Ozuna. Ozuna from the Twins wins an MVP. And is honestly on track to make the Hall of Fame. What does his WAR look like? Oh my god, he might actually do it. That's crazy. Alright, let's see what happens in these playoffs. So Dodgers are obviously still in it. They're going to blow a lead to Miami. So let's see from their perspective. Chicago is not going back to the World Series. It's going to be the Marlins versus Seattle. The Marlins start off hot and then blow 3 straight and then win 1, but end up falling short to Seattle. Oh, wow. That hurts. They were very close to winning it all, but Seattle does win the World Series. Who wins the awards? Julio Rodriguez wins World Series MVP. Ian Happ wins NLCS MVP. And Luis Arias, also a new team, wins the ALCS MVP. All right, let's see. We're going to take a look at where the top 10 free agents go, just because there's no way to see like a list, which I think would be really cool. But yeah, we'll manually look whenever they pop up. All right, so William Contreras is going to go to the Cubs as the number 4 free agent. Joe Ryan is going to go to the Yankees as the number 1 free agent. Seiya Suzuki is going to stay with the Cubs as the number 2 free agent. Mackenzie Gore to the Guardians as the number 5. Logan Gilbert is the number 3, stays with the Mariners for 5 years. Jeremy Pena as the 7th, goes to the Blue Jays. McClanahan as the number 8 goes to the Mariners. Lodolo as the number 10 goes to the Athletics. I think we're just waiting for number 2 and number 9 maybe. Duran as the number 6 goes to the Brewers. Rutschman as the number 9 goes to the Brewers as well. All right, we're at the home run derby. Anyone different here? Junior Caminero. Anyone that's on a different team? Caglione's here, which is good for him. Yeah, no one in anything different. Let's see how the All-Star teams look. Everyone on the same team that they're on in real life. JP Sears is here. Dustin May is here as a member of the Rockies. Good for him. Let's see. Anyone crazy here? Let's look at the AL. We saw the NL. Anyone that's on a different team? Kate Smith, Cole Sands. Carter Jensen's here. Good for him. Yeah, pretty much all the usual suspects. Ozzy Albies is on the White Sox, though, so good for him. Bryson Stott's on the Tigers. Okay. And all of those players obviously signed in free agency, but they weren't in the top 10, which unfortunate, but it does happen. Anyone else that's kind of crazy here? No. All right, everything else looks pretty good. Caglione up to an 84. Good for him. Absolute beast. Shout out to him, channel legend, if you will. So yeah, let's see how the rest of the year finishes off. See how these teams do. All right, season's over. Dodgers won 103 games. They've been very good. Have not yet won a World Series. Ohtani's gonna win MVP. Luzardo wins a Cy Young. Wow, these are wow. You could definitely argue Christopher Sanchez case here. Weatherholt wins a batting title. Morhone wins wins the reliever of the year award. Alex Vesio with the Marlins. Luke Adams. Okay, not a generational talent. Neither is this guy Zach Maxwell. Wow, as a closer, was third for Rookie of the Year. Bryce Harper wins a Hank Aaron. What about the AL? Judge with the Hank Aaron. Johnny Berry, Rookie of the Year, not a generational talent. Gio Rojas as well, getting called up. Dennis Santana as a member of the Angels. AJ Puck with the White Sox. Okay, so some different teams here. Judge with the batting title. Scoobs with the Cy Young. Good for him. And then Judge with an MVP. All right, let's see how the playoffs actually, see how the standings look. So the Giants are here. Dodgers, they will continue to be good, but I'm kind of worried because they haven't signed any crazy free agents. The Central, I'm surprised. The Cubs should have been better. End up not making the playoffs at all. Phillies, Marlins, Braves. So this has been pretty consistent. Okay, Mariners and the Rangers, both here. Athletics don't make the playoffs again. Royals, 85 wins make it, but no other Central teams. And ooh, incredibly mid, 88 win Blue Jays top the division. And the Red Sox, Orioles. The Yankees fail to make it to the playoffs with the MVP and with Joe Ryan on their team. Got to be worried as a Yankees fan. I can imagine. Let's see how the playoffs end up going. So the Dodgers are taking on San Fran. They get swept. Let's see San Fran's perspective. Taking on Atlanta, who they are going to lose to as well. Atlanta is going to be in the World Series against the Royals. Oh, and the Royals are going to end up winning themselves a World Series. I was talking a little bit bad about the Royals. They end up doing it. Michael Massey wins himself a World Series MVP. Matt Olson wins NLCS MVP. And Bobby Witt Jr. wins ALCS MVP. Taylor Ward had a good year. He's also here. Matthew Lugo. Oh, this team did not look good. But they get it done. All right, let's see where the top 10 free agents go next year. All right, Yordan. He's the number 3 free agent. He's going to the Cubs. George Kirby as the number 4 is going to the Giants. Number 8, Moreno is going to go to the Pirates. Good for them. Gunnar, the number 1 free agent, is going to the Red Sox. Buxton is the number 2, will end up with the Blue Jays. Abrams is going to go to the Orioles as the number 10 free agent. Andres Munoz will stay with the Mariners. Hunter Brown is going to stay with the Astros. Glasnow will go to the Padres. He's joining our rivals, only on a 1-year deal though. Hader is going to end up with the Braves. All right, we are at the Home Run Derby. Who is here? Kevin McGonigal is here. All right, good for him. Manzardo's here as well. Still though, no one on a different, really anyone on a different team at all, which is crazy. See how the All-Stars look. Okay, so no one. Okay, Suarez is on the Marlins. Contreras on a different team. Anyone else? Lucas Giolito's here. Good for him. What about the AL? We can see the NL. Scoobs, we see Crochet, Joey Estes. Anyone special? Wow, Bryce Miller. Brian Baker ends up going to the Athletics. Okay, good for him. Big Dumper, pretty normal. Really, and no one really leaving. CJ Abrams. A lot of players staying on the same team. We saw Taylor Ward was in Kansas City. Anyone else? Okay, so nothing too crazy. Judge, are you a Hall of Famer at this point? You need a couple more years probably, I would say. Not bad though. It's also going to be interesting to see where players end up going into the Hall of Fame with. We'll probably only have about 5 or 6 more Hall of Famers in this, because there aren't that many who are like ready yet, and most of the younger guys don't retire within the next 10 years. So yeah, if I didn't mention it, this is also a 10-year sim, so just keep that in mind. All right, year's over. Dodgers won 101 games. They're very good. They just can't get it done in the playoffs. Shohei wins another MVP. This is what, his like 6th at this point. It is his 7th MVP, and it's his second. Wow, actually, let's say he won 4 in a row, and now he has 2 in a row. Skeens wins the Cy Young. Xavier Edwards wins a batting title. Good for him. Vesia wins reliever of the year. Zach Veen wins rookie of the year. Jonah Cox, hell of a name. Yohandy Morales. Hank Aaron goes to Ohtani as well. Nick wins the Hank Aaron in the AL. I'm not saying that last name. You can't convince me to do it. Dale Machado. Oh, this guy is a generational talent, and it's crazy they didn't even really have him. They didn't have him up at all last year. Did he get drafted last year or the year before? 2028. Oh my God! So he got drafted as an 85 overall. Wow, he's gonna have an amazing career. Brian Abreu wins reliever of the year for the Yankees. Let's see if they made the playoffs. Luis Arraez batting title. Crochet with the Cy Young, and Nick with an MVP. Did the Yankees finally make it back to the postseason? Giants made it with 83 wins. Diamondbacks, Rockies, and Padres are the worst in the division. Pirates made it at 83 wins as well. Cubs, even with Jordan, don't make it. That's crazy. Marlins, Braves, Mets are here. Okay. Red Sox end up in the wild card. Athletics win the division. Mariners right behind them, though. Tigers, 85 wins. The defending champs, yet again, not in the playoffs. The Yankees do make it back with 101 wins. Red Sox with 92. Orioles, 84. The Blue Jays just missed out on the playoffs. All right, let's see how everything goes. So the Mets are going to destroy the Dodgers. Nice. The Mets are going to end up losing to their former team, the Giants. And the Giants are going to blow... Okay, the Giants almost blew a 2-0 lead. They end up making the comeback and winning it. Tyler O'Neill wins World Series MVP. Bryce Aldridge wins NLCS MVP. Jung-Hoo Lee also had a very good postseason. So did this Lionel Block guy, who was the generational talent from Season 1. Lawrence Butler wins ALCS MVP. They really just didn't look like they had the greatest of teams put together, but yeah, we'll see how next year looks for them. You guys know the drill. Let's go see where the top free agents sign. All right, so we are going to see a good batch of Hall of Fame inductees. Chris Sale, Nolan Arenado, Freddie Freeman, and Salvador Perez. So shout out to those guys for making the Hall of Fame. In the first season, Verlander and Scherzer both made the Hall of Fame. I'm pretty sure I forgot to show it though. So yeah, so far only 6 Hall of Famers. All right, first domino falls. Bryce Terang to the Athletics. Ellie signs with the Dodgers. This is their first big deal in this video from what I can remember. Mason Miller is going to go to the Mariners. Skeens is going to go to the Diamondbacks. And Austin Wells will go to the Reds. Brian Wu to the Tigers. Josh Hader back to the Yankees? No, he wasn't on the Yankees in this. He's going to go to the Yankees. He was a free agent last year. He's only been signing 1-year deals, though. Hunter Green will go to the Athletics as well. Cade Smith to the Red Sox. I believe he was the last one. Never mind, I was wrong. Zach Neto will end up with the Cubs. Let's see if they can finally make it back to the playoffs. All right, we are at the Home Run Derby. Let us see. Is there anyone different? Brandon Lowe ends up with the Blue Jays. Anyone else on a very different team? Riley Green, I didn't realize he got signed here. Was it last year? Oh, okay, so they did sign another big name. Yordan Alvarez with the Cubs. All right, we're starting to see players on different teams, which is good. Oh, wow. The Dodgers aren't doing too hot. But obviously, Ellie's on a new team. Jordan's on a new team. Luis Arias, Jake Berger, Contreras, George Kirby. So a lot of new teams. Devin Williams on a new team. Andrew Abbott with a new team. Mason Miller, obviously. Daniel Nunez. A lot of players on new teams. Hunter Goodman ends up with the Yankees. A lot of people think that's going to happen in real life. It's interesting to see some of these not as, I'm not going to say good, but these lesser known players who end up becoming free agents that we don't see. It's interesting to see where they end up. Alec Burleson ends up with the Twins. And wow, Cole Emerson's at 91 overall. Good for him. Yeah, it looks like, oh wow, Trent Grisham. Good for him. Yeah, and then Kerry Carpenter ends up with the Mariners. But everything else looks pretty good though. So let's finish out this year, see how everything finishes off. Alright, the year's over. Dodgers won 94 games. We are still yet to see them do anything crazy. As Shohei wins himself another MVP. Jordan had a great year as well. Yamamoto with the Cy Young. Acuna wins a batting title. Matt Brash is a member of the Brewers. Who's this Nate Walton guy? He's pretty good. Josu DePaula, I definitely butchered that, wins Rookie of the Year. Sawyer Stroh-Snyder's also getting called up. Jackson Wiggins. Hank Aaron goes to Jordan Alvarez. Good for him. Let's see. The AL, Nick wins it. Xavier Isaac wins Rookie of the Year. Sebastian Walcott also got called up. Enrique Lopez. Decent little guy there. Mason Miller, 54 saves, had a great year. Cole Emerson with a batting title. Joe Ryan wins himself a Cy Young. And Nick wins himself another MVP and goes back-to-back. Kevin McGonigal is a beast as well. So let's see how the playoffs... Oh, wait. Nope. Teams. Okay, so the Rockies and the Giants back in the playoffs. The Pirates, good year from them. Marlins and Mets have yet to see the Nationals make it. Athletics. Wow, the Mariners won 109 games, 92 out of the Athletics for second. The White Sox sneak in with 83 wins, which is crazy. Yankees finally starting to hit their groove again, win 95 games. Red Sox with 86, Orioles with 82. Blue Jays a little disappointing, but this division was very good. So let's see who ends up winning the World Series. Dodgers are yet again going to lose in the first round. Oh my goodness. The Giants, how do they do? They end up losing to the Pirates. So the Pirates are off to the World Series without Skeens, keep in mind, where they're going to get decimated by the Athletics. So far, we have not had a repeat with World Series winners. Dalton Varsho wins the World Series MVP. Connor Griffin, playoff MVP in the NL, the NLCS MVP, I should say. And then ALCS MVP goes to Nick. So the Athletics made it last year, ended up losing in the World Series. This year, they get their World Series. Okay, we're halfway through, and we have had 5 different World Series winners. Let's see if that trend continues. All right, Christian Yelich and Jose Altuve both make the Hall of Fame. Yelich with the Brewers, Altuve with the Astros. So, I mean, stuff we were kind of expecting anyway. All right, Ben Rice is going to go to the Pirates. Drake Baldwin's going to stick around with the Braves for the rest of this sim. Andy Pajes will stick around with the Dodgers for the rest of the sim. Mason Miller to the Cubs, and Ranger Suarez to the Mariners. So Mariners getting a little bit better. Actually, no, they get worse because they lose Miller, but Cubs need to start doing something with the team they have. Michael Busch goes to the Marlins. Good for him. Junior Caminero ends up with the Tigers. Honestly, I feel like this isn't the worst fit for him. I feel like he's probably better with the Rays, but we'll see. James Wood is going to stick around with the Nationals. As a Nationals fan, I love to see that. Byron Buxton is going to end up in Cleveland. Alex Vesia will stay with the Marlins. All right, home run derby. Anything to... Wow, who is this guy? It looks like another generational talent. It was taken in 2026, so maybe not generational, but very good player. Yeah, everyone... Nolan Gorman on the Twins, but most of these other players are on the correct team, which is crazy to see. Obviously, you also have to remember there are a lot of long-term deals already in place, so it makes sense. Anyone, Jordan Westberg on our team somehow. Johnny Fellows, don't know who that is. Who is that? 83 overall, A potential. Looks like another generational type talent, maybe? He was drafted in 2028, so I guess not. Just a player. Dominguez. Okay, Dominguez and Judge both here. Is Judge Hall of Fame bound? I don't think he is. With the 600 home runs, but I don't know how strict they are with the hits. Because normally, I know in the old game, like last year, I know you needed 2,300. But, I mean, he's going to be at 100 WAR over his career. He should be in the Hall of Fame. Anyone on a different team? Who's this Dale Machado guy? Another great player. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Brian Wu, we obviously saw was in Detroit. Soroka with the White Sox. Okay, Ryan Kirkring on the Royals. Erseg on the Blue Jays. Jeffers on the Guardians. Naylor still with the Mariners. Manzardo's with the Astros. Cole Young still with his team. Colt Keith still with his team. Jeremy Pena, we saw him, obviously. All right. Schwarber with the Athletics. I feel like this is such a weird move. I don't think this would ever happen in real life, but honestly, he might even be Hall of Fame bound in this game. What's his WAR looking like? Turn back into a catcher, he might be a Hall of Famer. So, yeah. All right, let's go ahead. Let's finish out this year and see how everything looks. All right, the Dodgers 99-win season. Let's see how okay, Shohei finally doesn't win an MVP. Michael Busch steals it from him. Brady Singer with a Cy Young. Devers with a batting title, good for him. Vesio with reliever of the year. 1.47 ERA, good for him. Johnny Fellows with rookie of the year. 90. Oh, never mind, he's not a 90. He's an 84 overall. Good for him, though. Derek Curiel finally up in the MLB. And Devers wins a Hank Aaron. William Roberts wins a Hank Aaron, good for him. David Alvarez, rookie of the year. Good from him. Brody Bumila, finally up in the MLB. Orion Kirkring wins the reliever of the year. Colt Keith batting title. Mike Soroka wins the Cy Young. I've officially seen it all. Mackenzie Gore finished in second. William Roberts with an MVP. Yeah, so some crazy things happening. Let's see what the standings look like. The Giants end up winning the division at 100 wins. One ahead of us. The Pirates go with 95. Cubs finally making it back to the playoffs. I don't think they made it last year. I could be wrong. Brewers also sneak in. Marlins barely make it. I mean, barely. They were 7 games ahead, but 86 wins is not a great year. The Nationals are atrocious. Let's see. Mariners 94 wins. Athletics don't make it back, so they don't even get a chance to defend their World Series title, which is crazy. It's the 3rd time it's happened already. I'm out of breath. Hold on. Guardians and White Sox both 93, but Guardians end up with the division. Tigers 89 wins as a wild card. Then the Blue Jays with 93 take the East. The Yankees make it back. So let's go ahead and see what is going to happen here. The Dodgers are going to move on. They're taking on their arch nemesis, and they get it done. The Giants just own us in this sim. Pirates, pretty sure the Pirates won last time, and it's the same thing again. Are we going to get... We're getting another new World Series winner. All right, and it's going to be the Pirates winning it. So another team, they lost it last year. This year they get it done. Moreno with World Series MVP. Christopher Driver wins NLCS MVP. Derek Curiel did very well. Good for him. And then the ALCS MVP goes to Jacob Young, Nationals legend here. So good for him. David Alvarez finishes, honestly, pretty well. 2 solo shots from the looks of it, which is crazy. And then Vlad did his thing. Fortunately, they just fall short. So, yeah, we've got 4 years left. Let's see what happens. Mason Miller is going to the Giants. Nick is going to leave and go to the Red Sox. And Willie Adames will end up with the Guardians. Crochet comes to the Dodgers. Okay. Jacob will end up with the Mets, and then Bazana will stay with the Guardians. So good for them. They're building something over there. Sal Stewart goes to the Yankees. Schlittler will end up with the Dodgers. So Dodgers are building something over here too. McLean goes to the Red Sox, and I believe that is the last top 10 player that hasn't signed. Okay, never mind. I lied. Bubba Chandler will also go to the Dodgers. That is crazy. They're building over here. All right, we're at the Home Run Derby. Is there anything different that we're seeing? Brian Reynolds also signed with the Tigers. Brandon Lowe went to the Nationals. Hopefully they can turn it around this year. Colson Montgomery went to the Mets. Okay, so some interesting moves that happened. See what the All-Star game looks like. Okay, Brendan Donovan also went to the Marlins. Yeah, everything else looks pretty similar to how it looked last year, though. Scoobs is still on the Blue Jays. I think he's here. Yeah, he's gonna be here until the last year, where he will sign again in free agency. Graceffo, Edwin Diaz as a member of the Guardians. How many career saves does he have? He's got to be up there. 450, not bad whatsoever. Big dumper, we kind of expect. William Roberts, we expect at this point. Bryce Serang, we knew that. Jacob Wilson still here. I think he has a couple more years left on his deal that he signed in real life. Chandler Simpson, haven't seen him yet. Dalen Lyle on the Rangers. I feel like he almost always goes to the Rangers somehow. Brian Guerrero. Are you? No. Okay. Jacob Marcy's on the White Sox. Lazaro Montes. He's always a beast. If you can trade for him, I would. He always turns into a beast. Yeah, so relatively calm stuff, nothing that we haven't really seen. So let's see how the rest of the year ends up. All right, season's over. Dodgers 95 wins. They've been very good in this. Shohei wins. He goes back to his MVP winning ways. Crochet with a Cy Young. Richie Walker wins the batting title with a 360 batting average. Good for him. Dennis Santana with the Cardinals ends up winning reliever of the year. Not the most saves out of him. Morhone's got to have a ton of saves. Wouldn't be surprised if he was the Phillies' all-time leader in saves at this point. He's been very good in this. Corey Colsey, okay, wins Rookie of the Year. And then Richie Walker wins the Hank Aaron over Shohei Ohtani. Ooh, this is rough. This is close. I don't know. I feel like the argument could be made about Shohei with his 19 extra home runs and his 24 extra RBIs. But a 361 batting average is insane. Brian Reynolds wins a Hank Aaron. Brian Guerrero wins the Rookie of the Year. Reliever of the Year, Graceffo with 55 saves. Guerrero with a batting title. Great rookie campaign from him. Mackenzie Gore wins himself a Cy Young. Good for him. William Roberts with the MVP. I think this is his second. That would be correct. He goes back to back. All right, let's see what happens in the play. Oh, I almost always forget. I always almost forget. Giants sneak in at 83 wins. Pirates, Cubs, Brewers all making it. Brewers with 82 wins. Crazy. Marlins 92 wins. They take that division. Mariners, they had a great year. Athletics and Angels both make the playoffs as well. Tigers, Guardians. Okay, so not bad. Blue Jays make it with an 80-win season. I will absolutely cry if they win the World Series. The Pirates do have a shot at defending their title, though, which is the first we've seen in a while. So let's go ahead, see how this goes. I really want the Blue Jays to win this World Series. That would honestly be so awesome. They are going to get past the Angels. Detroit's going to give them problems. Let's see. We'll sim from Detroit's POV. They're taking on the Athletics. The Athletics are going to knock them down. Are we going to get a repeat team? Cubs can stop it. And they end up blowing a 3-0 lead. And the Athletics get their second. That is crazy. That is insane. Mikel Garcia wins World Series MVP. NLCS MVP goes to Nico Horner. If we went far enough, I think he would probably make the Hall of Fame with the Cubs. But honestly, maybe not. Maybe not. ALCS MVP goes to Jacob Wilson. So the Athletics get their second. Good for them. Let's see where these top free agents end up going. Mike Trout and J-Ram will both make the Hall of Fame with the teams they've spent pretty much their entire careers with, if not their entire careers. Juan Pinto, okay, will end up going to the Mariners. So we're starting to see some fake players in here. PCA is going to go to the Pirates. Dennis Santana will go to the Marlins. Max Clark is going to the Yankees. Aiden Miller, this is the Phillies one, yeah. He ends up going to the Cardinals. Willie Adames re-signs with the Guardians on another one-year deal. Trent Grisham, as the number 2 free agent, goes to the Red Sox. Andrew Abbott goes to the Mariners. Dalton Varsho to the Reds. Lionel Block, the generational talent, will stay with the Giants, only signing a $20 million per year contract, which is crazy because he is insane. All right, home run derby. Anyone crazy? Ben Rice we knew about. Anyone we don't know? Vinny Pasquantino has been with the Royals this entire time, and it looks like he will pretty much remain here. Gabriel Rincones Jr. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, but pretty much nothing too out of the ordinary. Let's see, is there anything crazy in the All-Star game? Jordan Lawler is a center fielder. That's the first I'm hearing of that. Andres Fernandez, random player. Jordan Lawler, I did not know was listed as a center fielder in this game. That is insane. I know he used to be a shortstop. I guess he got moved to the outfield in real life. I guess. Let's see, is there anyone else that we are not expecting? Owen Casey is a Royal. Okay. Ozzy Albies still with the White Sox. He might almost be Hall of Fame bound. Yeah, he's definitely close. Yeah, if I turned him into a catcher, he would probably make it, honestly. And I might do that just to see. Anyone else? Basayo. Rutschman, we saw. He's still here. Von Lackey is a beast. Yeah, Adley's probably going to end up in the Hall of Fame. It's crazy. Catchers have such an easy way to get in. It's crazy. A lot of players that aren't real at this point, which is crazy. So, yeah, let's see how the rest of the year finishes out. All right, the Dodgers don't make the playoffs for the first time in this sim. So it looks like Shohei's reign of terror is over. Ben Rice wins an MVP. Crochet wins a Cy Young still. Xavier Edwards wins a batting title. Edwin Yasida wins himself reliever of the year. Ray Herrera rookie of the year. And Jordan wins himself a Hank Aaron. He will go into the Hall of Fame. The question is just going to be the Cubs or the Astros, and I'm going to guess it's the Cubs. Roman Anthony, wow, an all Red Sox affair, as Roman Anthony wins Hank Aaron. Dallas Alfiler wins himself a Rookie of the Year, good for him. Ronald Mangels wins himself Reliever of the Year. Roman Anthony with the batting title. Nolan McLean with with the Cy Young for the Red Sox. Wow, the Red Sox might be the best team in the league. Roman Anthony, Jesus. Have a year. Let's take a look at the standings. So, Dodgers miss out. Giants with 85 wins. Diamondbacks with 86 making it, wow, 85, 85, 87, 84. So, not a single 90-win team in the NL. AL, 87 wins, 97 wins out of the Guardians, 91 from the White Sox, 85 from the Royals. Mariners with 95, Athletics with 85. So, yeah, Nationals, are we ever going to do anything here? It would appear no. Let's see who is going to do well in this postseason. What's a team that I want to look at? Hold on. Who's still here? We'll look at Boston. Boston's got to win it all with the team they have. I shouldn't have said anything, as they get absolutely smacked by the Mariners, who are then going to destroy the Athletics and then take on the Reds, where they're going to end up losing. So we don't have another repeat here, as the Reds end up winning the World Series. Good for them. Jorge Fernandez wins himself World Series MVP. Wow, that guy's good. Dalton Varsho wins himself an NLCS MVP. Lazaro Montes wins the ALCS MVP. All right, we've got 2 free agent periods left. Let's see this year where everyone goes. Manny Machado goes into the Hall of Fame with the Padres. It makes sense. Ben Rice comes to the Dodgers. That's insane. Jackson Trio will go to the Athletics. Kevin McGonigal to the Mariners. Austin Riley to the Royals. Cole Emerson will go to the Giants. And Samuel Basayo will come to the Dodgers. For some reason, catchers don't make that much money, which is kind of crazy. Eli Willits will stay with the Nationals. That is huge. JJ Weatherholt comes to the Dodgers. Roman Anthony stays with the Red Sox. And Walker Jenkins stays with the Twins. So, yeah, I think that's all of the players. I could be wrong, though. All right, Home Run Derby. Do we have... Let's see what looks different. Nolan Gorman's still with the Twins. Charlie Condon's here. Good for him. Wow, he is a beast. Absolutely annihilates lefties. James Wood, are you Hall of Fame bound? You're close. He's very close. He just needs a few more good years. Never mind, the war's just not there. He's going to end up being one of those Hall of Pretty Good Players, which is, I mean, that's okay. It's not a bad honor to have. Let's see. Anything look different? Fisher, Culver, AJ Garcia. Nothing else too crazy, though. Richie Walker, who won, I think, Rookie of the Year one year. Kyson Witherspoon, wow, the 77 overall, is leading the charge in the AL. Garrett Whitlock is a member of the Mariners. Random guy Moreno is with the Royals. Miguel Vargas stays with the White Sox. Obviously, Gunnar Henderson. Saw Jackson Churio. Walker Jenkins stayed with his team. So did Montes. Corbin Carroll's with the Guardians. All right, let's see how the rest of this year finishes off, and then we will get to the playoffs and see who wins the second to last one. All right, Dodgers make it back at 90 wins, which is crazy because at one point they were ranked number 1 in the league, like attribute-wise. All right, let's see. Jordan wins himself an MVP. I believe that's actually his first, which is crazy with how good he's been. And you could honestly argue that Lionel Block might have been better. He almost had a 100-point better batting average, about 70, which is crazy. Schlittler wins himself a Cy Young. Lionel Block wins the batting title. Palencia, reliever of the year. Thurman Thomas, okay, good for him, wins the Rookie of the Year. Hank Aaron, all Giant affair. Michael Busch is also here. Wow. Team to kind of look out for. Lorenzo Sosa with the Royals wins a Hank Aaron. Kenny Hudson. Okay, good for him. Amar Alfonso. Okay, so we got some guys here. Campillo wins himself reliever of the year. Sosa with the batting title. Hunter Brown wins himself a Cy Young. Good for him. Is he, what overall is he? 92. Sebastian Walcott wins MVP, which is absurd. Good for him. Let's see how the standings look. Giants were better than us. Rockies were worse than us, both in the playoffs. Pirates, Cubs, Reds don't even have a chance to defend their title. It's crazy. Mets are here. Nationals have not made the playoffs once. Mariners are good. Athletics, Astros also make it in. The White Sox are elite with 97 wins. And then the Rays, Red Sox make it in. The Yankees, not very good. So, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the White Sox. I think they have the best shot here. Let's see how they do. They're going to immediately get swept. All right, let's watch the Dodgers then, because they are moving on. And they're going to make it to the World Series against the Mariners, where they get absolutely dogged. The Mariners get their second. Good for them. Bo Lawrence wins the playoff MVP. Juan Pinto, World Series MVP. Bo Lawrence, who got drafted this year in real life, wins himself an NLCS MVP. Good for him. And then Alejandro Casilla wins himself ALCS MVP. So, yeah, the Mariners get their second. We've got 1 year left, so let's see what happens. Oh, wow, we have a huge Hall of Fame induction. Shohei Ohtani and Mookie Betts both make it in with the Dodgers. Matt Olson with the Braves. Schwarber makes it in. I turned him into a catcher. Call it cheating. I just wanted to see what would happen. And then Corey Seager makes it in with the Rangers. So, yeah, normally Schwarber doesn't make the Hall of Fame, but since I guess I turned him into a catcher, he did. So that's very interesting to see, to say the least. Lorenzo Sosa, who was on the Royals, is going to be going to the Giants. Danny Hamilton goes to the Giants as well. Gio Rojas to the Mariners. So the Giants are looking to win it all next year from the looks of it. Rock Chalowski stays with the White Sox. Jackson Merrill goes to Houston. How have you been? Honestly, not bad. He's been pretty solid for the most part. Already got 25.5 WAR at the age of 28, give or take. 29, so not bad. Jesus Made, or Made, whatever it is. Only 20 mil a year, but he does go to the Royals. Grady Emerson will go to the Astros, okay. Dale Machado to the Cardinals. AJ Gracia, I've heard it pronounced a couple different ways, ends up with the Red Sox. Connor Griffin goes to the Diamondbacks. This is definitely an interesting move. All right, Home Run Derby, the final one. James Wood, good for him. Anyone that looks different? Jordan Walker is with the Giants. He's very good. Red Sox are absolutely cooking out there in the AL East. Let's see, anything that looks different? Ryan Waldschmidt is with the Marlins. Really nothing too crazy. A lot of fake players at this point. Anyone that we do know? Anyone that we do know? Leo DeVries, he's with the Athletics still. hasn't even hit free agency. That's that makes sense. Yeah, really nothing too crazy. Corbin Carroll, you a Hall of Famer? He's very close, honestly. Yeah, he needs a couple more years, and I think he's there. But let's see how this year finishes off, the final year. So yeah, let's see how this all ends. All right, so the Dodgers end the year with 94 wins. Check out the awards. J.J. Weatherholt wins an MVP. Paul Humphrey wins a Cy Young. Jorge Fernandez batting title. Dennis Santana with the Reliever of the Year award. Henry De Los Santos, Rookie of the Year, good for him. J.J. Weatherholt with a Hank Aaron. Gunnar with a Hank Aaron as well. Caden Wallace, wow. He's got to be like, yeah, he's 33 and he was finally a rookie. Ends up winning Rookie of the Year. Good for him. I mean, probably one of the oldest ones to win it. Eddie Campillo wins Reliever of the Year. Drew Riddle wins the batting title. Hunter Brown wins another Cy Young with a 4.09 ERA, which is crazy. And then Gunnar wins MVP. Let's see the standings, the final standings. Giants end up right behind us. Diamondbacks just there too, which is crazy. Cardinals with 101 wins. Reds with 91. The Nationals finally make the playoffs. Thank you. The Astros make the playoffs, but the Mariners, no chance at defending their title. White Sox with 92 wins. Twins with 89, not bad. Blue Jays finally making it back. Yeah, and then the Red Sox, Yankees doing their thing. The Red Sox are not as good as I thought they would be, in all honesty. But I do want to see the Nationals POV. Please, can they somehow get a job done? That'd be awesome as a Nationals fan. Never mind, they're going to get destroyed by the Diamondbacks. Dodgers will get the get back for the Nationals, and they're going to the World Series against the Astros, a repeat of 2017. And this time it will be the Dodgers winning it, so they win the final one. After losing the World Series last year, they win it this year. J.J. Weatherholt, World Series MVP. Zaire Hope, NLCS MVP. Bo Lawrence finishes right behind him. Very good, too. Dallas Al Filer wins ALCS MVP. So, I think, honestly, we saw a lot of the current prospects became better. They became more necessary. Free agency definitely became a lot bigger. The draft became a lot bigger. So, obviously, when you get rid of the trades, all the other stuff has to kind of compensate to keep up. But we saw some crazy stuff. I mean, the Giants became very good. They became a borderline dynasty. Pirates as well. Athletics were very good. The Reds, I mean, I feel like we did see a lot of different stuff because there was no trades. There was, a lot less ways to get players. So, yeah, I would say all in all, this was a pretty good experiment. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Did it turn out the way you thought it would? Did it turn out differently? Were you expecting one team to be better, one team to be worse? So let me know down in the comments. But that being said, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you guys as always for watching. Stay tuned for the next one, and peace.